This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Tim Gordon.
And I'm Christelle Kumwe. This morning on Sunrise, March for Our Lives protests against gun violence sweep the nation. We'll take you to Saturday's demonstration in Portland.
Plus, rainy weather leads to higher rivers closing parts of the East Bank Esplanade along the Willamette River. And speaking of rain, let's check in with Chris McGinnis for a quick look at our forecast. Chris, how much are we going to get today?
Because I just keep bringing the good news, right? You know, for some of us, of course, appreciating the rain and the cooler weather of, that June has brought us so far. We are working our way towards cracking into the top 10 for wettest Junes on record, just 12 days into the month. So give you a little perspective there. All right, here's a live look right now from our Wells Fargo sky camera. We've got gray skies out there right now. And yes, our next round of rain is moving in. Now for the Portland metro area and points north, this will be occasional light rain today. But as you get farther south, Wilsonville, Woodburn, Salem, and points south, the rain will be steadier and heavier. And as you get down towards southern Oregon, it's raining pretty good right now down the I-5 corridor. And that will be the case, I think, throughout the day today. Right now, we are 55 degrees in Portland. Big perspective across the state. Pendleton checking in with 60, 52 John Day and Burns. We're a smidge cooler today, and the clouds are certainly going to be with us for much of the day with occasional light rain in our Portland forecast. Guys, I've got highs topping out in the low 60s.
Thanks, Chris. New this morning, Gresham detectives say a motorcycle rider hit and killed a pedestrian, then tried to flee the scene. You're looking at the scene near Northeast 162nd and Burnside. The pedestrian, a woman, died at the scene. Officers quickly caught up with the motorcycle rider and arrested him. He is now in jail. All eyes will be on the city of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho this week after police stopped the U-Haul truck you see on your screen there. And inside that U-Haul, more than 24 people now accused of planning to start riots during a Pride festival. Yeah, police believe those arrested have ties to a white nationalist hate group. A witness called police after they saw the group of men loading into that truck. 31 people were arrested and charged with conspiracy to riot. Police say the group had shields, shin guards, and at least one smoke grenade. They say the men are all from all over the country, including some from Oregon and Washington. Evidence from the U-Haul led police to believe the group was planning to riot in several areas of downtown Coeur d'Alene, that's just east of Spokane, of course. The arrests happened not far from a local Pride event in Coeur d'Alene. While that event remained peaceful, organizers say other armed groups were there to intimidate people, and they were not going to let that happen.
We have been through so much, so much harassment and attempts to intimidate, on the psychological level. And the truth is that if you allow yourself to be intimidated, you let them win. And what we have shown today is that you will not win.
A lot of police officers and sheriff's deputies were at that park to guard against violence. Many people attending the event say they were thankful for all the security measures in place. The 31 people arrested were booked into jail and are expected to be in court tomorrow.
Gun violence led thousands around the country to rally on Saturday. Cities across the U.S. saw March for Our Lives protests with demonstrators calling for meaningful change and gun reform. Alma Mokari spent the day with demonstrators here in Portland.
Many people were compelled to come out on Saturday to say something, feeling angry, frustrated, completely heartbroken over one mass shooting after another. Those I spoke with say despite those feelings, they're not giving up. They say they're committed to making a change.
Protect our schools! Protect our kids! Protect our schools! Protect our kids!
Protesters of all ages marched through the streets of Portland as part of a nationwide movement. These rallies, organized by March for Our Lives, a youth-driven group first created by students who survived the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.
I immediately wanted to join and try and lead the Portland chapter.
Athena Sue Chen said the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, especially struck a chord.
It was kids who are younger than my little brother getting shot and killed. An 18-year-old should not be able to get an assault rifle and mow down a whole bunch of little kids who are just there to learn.
Some in the crowd, like Paul Kemp,
This is my brother-in-law, Steve, who was killed at the mall.
have spent years working towards meaningful action against gun violence.
I got involved in the gun violence prevention movement when my brother-in-law was killed at the Clackamas Town Center shooting in 2012. I'm a gun owner, and the things that I learned about that shooting really got me angry.
Between then and now, he said several reforms have happened on a state level, but there's much more work to be done.
Really need movement and action at the federal level. That's where I've been focusing. We've got to improve things because clearly what the country has been doing and the states have been doing isn't enough.
Enough is enough.
Demonstrators and organizers called for raising the minimum age to purchase assault weapons, for universal background checks, and for a national gun buyback program.
We have to stand up because thoughts and prayers don't change policies. We just cannot let all of these shootings become the status quo.
In Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Well, a suspicious fire in Gresham has investigators searching for answers. It happened at a center that offers resources for women facing unplanned pregnancies. The fire happened at around 2:30 Friday morning at Portland Pregnancy Resource Center in Gresham. Crews were able to quickly put out the flames. We're told it only burned in one room, but firefighters say it is suspicious. It is now under investigation by the ATF, FBI, and Gresham Fire.
We've got a warning for everyone in Oregon. Be on the lookout for landslides. All this heavy rain has officials putting out this alert. Specifically, they're concerned about the potential for landslides in eastern Oregon. The National Weather Service issued flood watches in several places this weekend. Heavy rain may result in landslides where the terrain is steep and debris flows near wildfire burn areas. Now, the Department of Geology and Mineral Industries has some tips. They say stay alert whether you are at home, work, or traveling in a watch area. Listen for unusual sounds that might indicate moving debris, such as trees cracking. You should also watch the water. If a stream or creek suddenly turns muddy, it's a warning the flow may be affected upstream and could be coming downstream fast. And finally, they say travel with extreme caution. Assume roads are not safe. Be alert while driving, especially at night. And rising river levels are closing down parts of the East Bank Esplanade in Portland. Portland Parks and Recreation announced they'll temporarily close the Vera Katz East Bank Esplanade for safety starting today. The area impacted is the floating portion of the popular multi-use path from north of the Morrison Bridge to south of the Steel Bridge. There's no set date yet on when it will potentially reopen, but officials say depending on water levels, it could stay closed until at least Wednesday this week.
Well, June is Pride Month, and the city of Hillsborough celebrated the LGBTQ+ community at its Pride Party. This is the second year the event was held at Jerry Willey Plaza. It started in 2019 but was disrupted because of the pandemic. The city's mayor says people from all across the state traveled to Hillsborough for the event. He told us that seeing so many people come together yesterday put a lump in his throat. At least one city councilor says they moved to Hillsborough because of events like this.
Being accepted, being understood, being celebrated, I mean, those are really important things to feel in your own community, and the fact that this is a city-sponsored event makes all the difference.
Now, the festival was headlined by drag performer Poison Water, as you see there, and dance pop group the C.J. Mickens Band with other special artists. Pretty cool. All right, well, a Rose City tradition is back in a big way. Yeah, coming up in about 12 minutes, we'll take you to the Grand Floral Parade, back after a 2-year pandemic hiatus.
Yes, but first, a new year will bring a new curriculum for local students. The big changes coming to Portland Public Schools.